Hey everybody, it's me, Logan TDC, and welcome back. I know I haven't posted in a while, but I had a cool new idea. Two words, listen closely. Movie review. I know, insane stuff. So yesterday I was feeling pretty bored and a friend of mine recommended this anime called Another. And I thought, you know what, I'll check it out. So I proceeded to spend the whole night and morning watching Another. At the time of recording this video, I literally haven't slept yet. So I thought we could do an in-depth review, spoiler free. Let's jump straight into it. Okay, so first things first, I think we should introduce one of the main key factors of the story: the characters. So there are only really two characters that matter. I mean, of course, the other characters matter, but their names don't. So I didn't even bother memorizing them. So let's just look at the two main characters here, alright? Okay, so I think I'm going to introduce Misaki Mei as the main character first. Even though there are two main characters in the story, she is a pretty big deal with the story, even though she is literally on the front of the cover. Now, just within the first episode, we are introduced to Misaki Mei as this dark, depressed little girl. Well, I suppose she's a girl, because they are in junior high, but she only has one eye. Her other eye is a glass eye, but that contributes later to the story. We'll get into that just now. But I must say, all around, her character seems to develop well from the start towards the end of the show, and not at a single point does her character seem aggressive, which is quite different for such a depressed character, in my opinion. Okay, next I want to introduce Kochi Sakibara. Maybe I pronounced that wrong. Sometimes they refer to him as Sakibara just as his name, or Kochi. Personally, I think they're doing that surname switch around thing, so it can really be whatever you want at this point. But Kochi, that's his name. He's sort of this all around, he's all around the good boy, I guess. You could tell he clearly has feelings for Mei. But since it's a traditional anime, they never actually hook up or anything. So it's kind of all in vain in the end, but you can tell he really does care. He has good intentions. And I feel he is also a main contributing factor to the story because we are introduced with him. We are put into his shoes. We are in the same boat after all. So I feel many of the viewers and contributing factors of watching is that you'll relate to Kochi or Sakibari, whatever you want to call him. You'll relate to him just that much more than Mei. Also, he's a normal guy, which I also think is quite relatable. So okay, so that leads us to jump into our second factor, the storyline. And it's quite twisted from the beginning, I must say. So let me just delve a little deeper into this. Okay, so the premise of the story is that there's a curse on this class, and Kochi, or Sakibari as we referred, comes in and he obviously meets Mei and he's intrigued. But what it is the curse can only be dealt with in a certain way, and the characters handle this by pretending one of the students doesn't exist. And at this point, Mei doesn't exist because the curse is if one extra student joins the class, students and students' family members will randomly start dying. So then Mei's eye contributes deeply towards the end of the anime, without spoiling anything, of course, because it has some mystical power, but she does mention this in the first episode. I would like to say that how the anime starts versus how it ends is very different. It almost starts as if it were a horror, and it ends as somewhat a thriller, like the equivalent to a Friday the 13th film ending, but it started with a really dark twist. So I must say, if you are squeamish, this anime will definitely, most definitely, not be for you. There is a lot of blood, a lot of death scenes. It's kind of like Death Note if Death Note was more twisted and bloody. Especially towards the last couple of episodes, there is like a lot of killing and stuff that happens, and it gets intense, I must admit. So, if you like your generic hack and slash horror movies, this one's for you. But all around, I would say the anime treats itself as a puzzle, a moral puzzle that tests your sanity. The anime treats itself very seriously and somewhat seems to follow real world incidents. It's a mix between Death Note and Final Destination, I would say. The curse takes students and their families in very accidental like manners, whether it comes to car accidents or whatever it is. It's mainly just accidents, but towards the end of the show, it isn't an accident. It's all just about killing, and it kind of goes a little bit purge towards the end, because yet again, not to spoil, what we find out is there is a way to stop the curse. And unlike any anime, they're not facing a literal enemy. What they are facing is a curse that possesses the class. So I think that could really be something unique, and yeah. So if what I have said intrigued you, I recommend you go watch Another. There is a total of 13 episodes, so you could essentially either watch it all in one day or like one month, bro. If you want to slow yourself down, you can do it. If you want to finish it in one day, go for it. But I recommend, if you are going to start watching it, know when to stop, because it is one of those highly addictive animes. And like I said, I didn't get any sleep. So yeah, I'm pretty exhausted, but I must say I did find it worth it. The lack of sleep definitely seems worth it when you're watching a decent show, which is definitely what this is. So, in summary, I would just like to say I loved it. It was dark, edgy, had me on the edge of my seat, and I would almost say every episode, every second of every episode feels worth watching. And that is a unique anime experience in itself. In conclusion, in my opinion, Another gets a solid 9 out of 10. Thanks so much for watching.